Hey everybody, this is Rob Live and this is episode 2. Today we're going to share about perspective. So I want to start with a quote from the actor Chris Pine. Some of you guys might know him from like Star Trek. He played the new Captain Kirk. But I found this quote online about perspective. Thought it would be a good one to share. I'm going to put it once I learn how to edit properly. Actually, I'll try to do it this episode. I'll have it written right underneath here where I'm right below my shirt here. But it is the only thing you can sometimes control over. Wait, let me try that again. The only thing you sometimes have control over is perspective. You don't have control over your situation, but you have a choice on how you want to view it. So I want to share a couple of situations recently that allowed me to gain some perspective. The first one being that our family van broke down. We have a Honda Odyssey. Lovely vehicle, by the way. I know, minivan, but getting up there in age, got to have something for the kiddies. So anyway, we got the minivan, and we're going to Kansas to visit our friends, the Aldana. Shout out to Eric and Jen and the fam out in Overland Park, Kansas. So this is going to be like a 3-day drive. I don't like to fly. We'll talk about that later. But bigger reason why we decided to drive on this one is because I wanted to see the different states we're going to drive through. New Mexico, Arizona, parts of Texas and Oklahoma. It was really cool. And on the way back, Denver, Colorado, went through Colorado and Utah. So anyway, we're like, should we take the van? And something was telling me, let's rent a vehicle. This van's a little bit older and we don't want something to happen on the road. So we decided to rent a vehicle. We went to Kansas, and I'll talk all about that in a future episode. It was a different perspective on life altogether, but it was beautiful. Anyway, we get back and without incident. We're back, and now we're driving around our van again. And about 2 days ago, the alternator gives out. And I have I was going to say 100,000. No. I have $1,000 repair bill to replace the alternator. And so I was thinking, wow, that's part of the summer fund. That money could have been utilized for a cool trip, but we got to take care of the van, right? And so starting to feel a little bad about the situation. And then all of a sudden perspective kicks in, and I realized that the van could have broken down at any time, including on the way to Kansas. Had we taken the van, there would have been a lot more expenses in terms of an extra day's hotel, towing costs, repair costs on the road, because we would have had to find a mechanic, and who knows what the pricing would have been like. Things could have been so much worse had the van broken down on the road. And so, this idea of $1,000 repair bill, yeah, it's not great news, but when you put it in perspective and you realize that you dodged a much bigger financial bullet, it's tolerable, So that was the first one that put things in perspective. The other one was, as I mentioned before in my last video, the very first video, I'm on a 50 and older men's baseball team. Shout out to Tim Fujioka and the Braves with the Fresno Baseball League. But with that team, right, my body's reacclimating to all the jerky movements and athletic movements that are required for baseball. And my body wasn't quite there. So I've already had like 4 or 5 injuries. There was even a time when I was like, man, should I keep doing this? So anyway, I finally started feeling really good. I had my best game defensively the last game. And I've been kind of running and stretching every day. So it's 4th of July. It's a holiday. It's scorching hot outside. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to go run. So I go out to the Lemoore High School Stadium and I'm running, jogging, slow jog, stretch, get loose. And then I start doing some sprints, gradual sprints uphill on this, up the bleachers. And on the last sprint, I was like, all right, I'm going to leave after this sprint. That last sprint, I feel that burning sensation in the back of my left leg, right, which is when you pull your hamstring. It was the same hamstring I had pulled earlier in the year, and actually I had to skip a game because of it. And so I'm like, no, not again. And there I am again, trying to pass out invitations to my pity party. And the good Lord kicks in and reminds me of a very sobering incident that happened right after Father's Day. So Father's Day Sunday, we played our baseball game, and it was really cool because my family came out. My wife and kids were there along with my mother-in-law. Everybody was out there. And Why is this happening? Oh, still recording. I guess we'll edit that out. I'm not sure why that happens. So anyway, I'm out there and I get a big hit, right? Because I want to get a big hit. My family's there. I get a big hit. I end up hitting a triple, and I end up on third base. And I'm out there on third base, and I briefly meet the guy who's playing third base. We're joking around. He's like, "I got you. You're out." Right? Because it was a pretty close call. And I'll put the video up for you guys so you can see whether I was out or not. Well, luckily, the umpire was on my side. He said I was safe, and so the triple stands and helped my batting average, etc. I'm excited. I'm joking with the guy. He ends up pitching a little bit later. Seemed like a fun guy. It was the first time I'd met him. Fast forward to like Wednesday of that week, and I find out through our team manager that third baseman that I had been joking around with and having a good time with that day on Father's Day had played his last game because he passed away. And it was a medical condition. It wasn't an accident or anything, but it's a medical condition he had, and he passed away. And so the sobering reality, he played his last game, and that tomorrow wasn't promised for us. And so when I thought about a minor injury like a hamstring versus not ever getting to play again and never seeing your family again, I mean, it's minor in comparison. So my mindset now is that I can bounce back from this hamstring and get back on the field and not feel sorry for myself, even though it's happened a couple of times, because I've put it in perspective in comparison to what it could be, right? Never getting to play again, whether that be a permanent injury or passing away. The good Lord has a way of reminding me, right, that things could always be worse. So if you have something that you're struggling through, right, try to find that anchor, that other significant event that exists around you in your world that could be worse than what you're currently going through. And putting it in that perspective makes going through that problem a lot more tolerable. Now, I don't want by any means to devalue or downplay the seriousness of whatever it is you might be going through or facing right now. That's not it at all. But if I can find something that puts what I'm going through in a perspective that helps me get through it a little bit better, then that's the goal. So whatever your problem may be today, remember, the only thing you sometimes have control over is your perspective. You don't have control over the situation, but you have a choice about how you decide to view it. And my hope is that you try to view it in a light that makes it tolerable, that gives you the strength to get through whatever that situation may be. So with that being said, I hope I was able to share something helpful with you today. Maybe even provide you with a little bit of perspective on your own problems. As always, I'll be praying for you all. And please reach out to me at roblive888@gmail.com. I'll put that on the bottom if you have anything you want to share, any topics you want me to discuss. The goal is for you to be able to check in here and get something valuable every day that I post that can maybe help you in your life. Okay? So, with that being said, this is Rob Live. I hope you subscribe, and we'll see you later with love, peace, and chicken grease.